A giant metal thread. And I know these exist because I just saw them in Bunnings. All the crap I've collected. I'm gonna have some sort of, it's gonna be more Dr. Evil than this setup. And I kind of, my computer just stopped working. I'm going back to the desktop. I'm repairing it. But should I not go the route where I use the two legs? Should I just, because I was like, I am being an ultimate Gemini today. I'm just thinking of all the different ways that I can solve my problem. So I was going to do an external monitor, but now I'm thinking like, do exactly what I was going to do. Can I do this today? This is what I'm working with. This can be my main one. Maybe. This is how it's going. I expect to replace the parts as time goes on, maybe find something prettier, we'll see. So I want that to go in there, and I'll chop this to size, and then this is going to go on that, and it's going to connect to this, which is going to go between these two, and these two are going to go on the couch. And then this is going to control this, and I just have to figure out a way to put it on the motor. And then I've got like a giant thing. Yeah. Look at the way a tripod works. So, gosh, how do I even put this in words? This moves, and therefore that angle moves. So, remember those hydraulic things that I found? This is my peanut butter I lost 2 weeks ago. So funny. I think they're called RAM. If I put a whole bar at the bottom and maybe one on each end, it's because I'm thinking, how am I going to keep the arm at a certain angle? So right now, editing is off the table. I just don't have the tools to edit. Digital art is off the table as well. I don't have the tools. So a lot of my workload, like the work that, I like the digital art, but I hate editing. So all the work that feels like work that I just never want to do, I just can't do it. And I can only do fun activities right now. But like the fun activities make me feel like I'm not working. So I can only do fun activities right now. Because, okay, so the whole like thinking roller coaster, I was like, okay, so I'm gonna get like a separate monitor, and then I'm gonna have an arm swing out of the chair. And now I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna fix that, because that's a whole different thing. I'm gonna fix the computer, and I'm still going ahead with this, but I'm not gonna do a table moving up. I'm gonna go with this new idea as if the monitor was lighter, but I'm just gonna make it a bit more durable so that it can hold the whole computer, and it's just gonna swing out from the chair. I've been thinking, so those hydraulics that I found, I'm gonna use those, and I'm just gonna use one of the linear actuators to move it. And I was at the scrap metal place this morning, and I was just looking at things, and I saw a scooter, and I was thinking like, scooters fold. So I was like, oh, I could cut that up and use the hinge. And then I was thinking like, well, why would I use the hinge and not the extension part? And I was like, well, kids are so damn short. I need a taller scooter with a hinge. And then I was thinking like, don't get the scooter. Just keep thinking about things that I can probably get. And since I can't do any computer work, it's just free reign, it's adventure time. So I'm thinking I'm gonna look up what IKEA has, because I've just got shitloads of drills from my billboard project. I have an excessive amount of drills, and maybe I could trade something to get whatever hinges I can find. So I need a giant hinge. I need it to be L-shaped. I think that's all for now. I also found some other things. So if the linear actuator doesn't work for this, I found this thing. And if I position it in the right spot on the side of the chair, like if the linear actuator doesn't work, then I could place this in a spot where 1 or 2 rotations violently moves the computer over to the front. Man, okay, so we're sticking with this plan. So it'll swing over, and depending on how many rotations, I would just have to rotate it slowly. I just noticed the empty ones. What the fuck are these for? Have I got a bolt that can fit in there? Because that would be kind of cool and like useful. Get the fuck out. No way. What are the odds? Because I just find random shit everywhere. And I got heaps of these. I don't know why. I don't know what they're off. Those were really slim odds. I only have 4, and I'm very sure I only found these recently. Yeah, I think because I looked at the 88, I've been seeing 88s everywhere. Oh, that's what they're from. Because I hated the, I didn't like the previous feet. They looked chat. It looked like, oh, I'm modern. So these are feet holes. Alright, I'm going to look out the words fold out because I feel like that's going to give me a hinge that goes one direction. I want a strong... Oh, you can't even see what I'm looking up. Oh, it's a shame. This trolley is going to give me a hinge, I think. Give me a close-up on the wheel. Is that a hinge? This one's suitable. Where are the hinges? See those hinges? Those look suitable. They're going to sit like right there. The thing is, it's just weird shaped. It's just weird shaped. So I might just like cut it and then attach them somehow. No, this one's smaller and looks like it's got better hinges. I think, don't quote me on this because I'm just making shit up, but I'm pretty sure. Because I'm making a sign over there and I had to know what weight the motor could take, and to take the weight I had to measure it, and then I had to calculate the radii, and then you end up knowing how much torque you need. So I think that if your weight is further out, long story short, you might need more torque. But I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty sure that's the gist. But then I look at these chairs and I'm kind of like, they don't... I'm very sure obese people don't have issue buying chairs. I'm pretty sure they can just sit on a chair. Otherwise we would all know about it. Like, it wouldn't be like a joke meme, it would be like an actual meme. Yeah, I trust that they're selling chairs that obese people can sit on. I'm not ruling out having like a stem on a wheel. I'm not ruling that out. Yeah. I found a parasol. That could be very useful. I think I'm gonna get a Sveto and a Gundy. Because one of those is a parasol and it... I love the instructions. It says click and I'm like, oh, I almost heard that. So that solves my turning the monitor problem, as in it's gonna go this way, which controls the height, and then this way, which controls the depth. And then the monitor on its own will do like a little Z-axis. X-axis? Y, it's X. The only thing I'm missing so far is just a metal plate to go underneath the couch. I'm also missing a thing to attach to the monitor, but I'm thinking I want to do like a little bit of woodwork there, just make it a little bit woody. Looks dirty. I think I've changed my mind. An IKEA review. I feel like they had heaps of, I forgot what they're called, not gazebos, heaps of these umbrellas, giant umbrellas on show, but none of them were the ones that turn up on the website. I was confused. My confusion continues. So here are some photos of other ones that I saw, and I was like, okay, because they all had like this little system in it. But at least this one looks way sturdier than the other one that I wanted. I'm very confused. I wanted like the L-shaped one. Oh, I hate going to IKEA. This is not the L-shaped one. Ah, damn it, I gotta... Wait. Okay, I've got screenshots. This is what I meant by it's so confusing, because this was $69 and the website doesn't have an option for that much. So I was like, oh, it's on sale because the $89 was the closest one. Maybe. There's also a $45 one, which is new to me, which kind of looks like this one. And I'm just really confused. And I think, because I'm sick of driving, I think I can take this on the bike. And I was like low-key, like kind of pumped that I'd solved like the bottom plate thing with the one that I thought I was getting. Okay. All right, well, my computer's not fixed yet, so it's not like I'm wasting time, but I'm definitely wasting time. We're going to assume they're all the same height. Brings the computer here. That's really far out. This is all like, so like the L-shaped one would solve this problem. There wouldn't be so much depth. What I'm concerned about is when it gets over here, is it going to jump over that? Because I hope it does. And then I'm thinking like, what if I found like a wheel, you know, like on sailboats, where you have a wheel? That would be funny. Okay, done. I placed another order, but I did it online, so there's no messing up this time. God damn it. That doesn't work as nicely as I wanted it to. I could do two really odd-looking ones. That really does fuck up the plan a bit. I had a really cool idea. I was gonna do like a puzzle piece. It's a bit rainy, so I took the car plus billboard venture. And that was probably a good idea because it's quite heavy. This looks like an L-shaped parasol. This is an inappropriate indoors activity. It would be an inappropriate balcony activity too. This is what I've got. I want to swap these two beams purely for aesthetics. I'm going to use that underneath to hold it. I don't know what I'm going to use this for yet. And that may be for another project, and I'm going to try and sell that, you know, just not let it go to waste. I'm so grateful this isn't a rivet, because there's fucking rivets everywhere. Philip's head. Because this just came off after I undid that end, and I was thinking like, well, I could just leave it as is, and I don't like this hook, but I have a feeling there's a wider hole here, which is just going to make it easy to put it back on there. It's a real shame that these are rectangle profile, because I was thinking I could use this as the next arm. It's going to take a little gymnastics to figure that out. Success! Okay, great. I'm not sure if I want to keep this here because it's a lock with this, and I think this is kind of ugly, but if I like cut it here, it would be less ugly to me. Also, no one's really going to see it. I couldn't get this part off just because I didn't try hard enough. About 6. I don't know what the time is. I haven't looked at the time. And, okay, so I need a piece here to pivot, and I'm kind of sold on I'll just manually move it because it's just, I don't want extra cords for no reason. So I'm going to put a piece here to here, and then allow this to move to the other side. Oh, I didn't see that coming. That's okay, I can just flip it. And I need to decide where this goes on the bottom of the couch. So let me draw a picture. I actually have a lot to do. I have only accomplished this. I will set aside a piece of metal for this and this. Oh, with the other piece, I can just pull that apart. I want to leave the angle grinding till tomorrow. I need to measure this and that and decide how all these are being joined together. I think I'm going to chop off the end of that so I can slide it further into the middle. And I have obstacles where, depending, like, because I don't think the thread's just going to let me thread it into this. I think you need a finer thread for that. Maybe I'm making shit up. You know, challenge accepted. If I can get a bolt in there, okay, whatever. I don't exactly know how RAM works. You know, when you open your boot, it's either closed or open. So I don't know if there's a middle point with this. I don't think I'd want the computer any lower than that. And then I get to an obstacle here where I have to make sure that, so if I move it, damn it. Okay, I'll limit it there. Oh good, that gives it clearance for here, but then I'd have to keep the couch like half a meter away. Need some sort of middle point. I don't plan on the computer doing a somersault, so I just have to make sure that whatever I put it onto this, there's going to be another bar here, it sits on the front. Then I've got extra clearance, because I'm thinking I'll probably be able to put it here and then I'll have it come forward and back. God damn, it's just so far away. I've decided this is going to be the last joint that I do connecting to the computer because I don't know the length. I want to make it so that the other arm moves as well, and then that could impact how it goes around this bend. Fucking rivets. I could try drill them. I could also put it in here. I've marked this up, and there are 2 pieces of wood here that I can attach this to, and then I've got this that's going to attach to that, and also it's going to attach to that. So that's, I could change my mind depending on how it actually plays out. I've also decided if I need the RAM, I'm just going to put a piece of wood here and then connect it to the bottom, because I don't want to damage this. I know this seems permanent, but it's like semi-permanent. And then I would screw it into that piece of wood. I have an imaginary problem. If it's L-shaped but also moving back and forth, then when it moves above the couch, like when it goes from here to here, it could drop. That's a problem. The weight? Okay, so I've got my arm, and then I was thinking I'll have it rotating, but then I was like, it's very front heavy. How do I keep it upright? Alright, I'll start the day with a bunch of crap in my living room, and I'm going to end the day with a setup for my computer. Go! I might be missing some things. Here's how it's going so far. There's some sort of sorcery going on over here, so I can't take that off. I'll just... No. But it's too long anyway, and I know that. And then I'm going to use the brakes to my advantage. So I'm thinking, I accidentally realized that if I push the whole mechanism down slightly, it unlocks it. So I could just use that to my advantage. And then I put these together, and they're gonna sit here, and then I just have to do some not real maths and then just like visual maths and see where I need to place them. I've also cut these, and this one's gonna live here. It's gonna make the little bendy triangle. This one's gonna be the corner bit. I need names for these. This one, I'm thinking it's probably the same, yeah, it's the same thickness of that. So all I have to do is make a little ladder, like just one row of squares, and put it there, and then that works as the brake system. I'm so curious to open this up, but like I can see, obviously I can't rotate it to have the button on the same side of the hinge. Nah, that's gonna screw up my project. I'm so curious. There we go. Now I've got more room for activities. I need to measure. Yeah, I think that's what I have to do next. Okay, so the max length for this bar, I've set it generously at 1 meter. I probably want it less. That's how much space I'm willing to put behind the couch. So I'm gonna work with this, and depending on how short I decide to cut this bar, determines where the minimum is that this can sit, because this is as far back as this can go, and realistically, this could probably only go to there. Okay, so depending on where I cut it, and then I need to see the max on the other side. I've moved it back and forth for a little while. I think if I shorten this, I have room to play by moving this up and down. My obstacle is, where do I put these? Maybe they'll just sit on the outside anyway. They do, it doesn't matter where I put these. It does matter where I put these, but it doesn't matter according to this bar, because I don't think it's gonna get in the way. I just have to make sure that it doesn't get in the way of this path. I don't see the function of this one. Because you know when you're holding something out far away, you're kind of like, oh, the weight is over there. Whereas if you're holding it towards you, you're kind of like, well, my arm is taking care of this. This one's very important. I just don't know about this one. My gut instinct says that short. You know, honestly, instead of using this, I'll probably use that. But I could just like put these in here because I'd have to make it a bit flatter. They do link into that little thing there. I just need bars on this periodically. That's essentially what I need. No, that's not gonna work because this is flush. So I would have to drill holes, fat ones, and then bend that closer, or put a different spring inside. But I'll try bending it first. Oh, by the way, this is what I meant for that thing over there. You can just chill on this. I think I've got another one somewhere. Maybe I don't. That I want this to be the spot where these two meet. I've been practicing, and I think it's designed to stop there anyway. Was it? I don't know. But there's a hole there. Whatever, I'll put my own stoppers. I've got something functional going on over here. I might cut it shorter. I'm trying to picture, like, this is decently far. Like the screen all the way over there. Oh, hectic. Okay, now I know it's safe to put the two brackets that go underneath the couch between there and there. No one's gonna notice it. I trimmed it. I think now it's time to put this arm on. I should name them. Front arm, beast, because this is the beastie part. Fat guy. And then some sort of the awkward one. Okay. Yes. I'm going to try this two ways. The first way, I'm going to try and trim and then put a hole in it and insert them together like that. And the second way, I'll just put a folding thing in between and then see which one works. Okay, that way is not going to work. I have to do an external hinge because it's just weakening it. But now I can see how high I've got. So if I let it hinge out, that can work. Cool. It's looking a bit doctory. I need to like paint it like as in hospital-y. I'm going to make it gold. Alright, attempt number 2. Wait a second. This is just gonna fall. One is more than enough. Good. It's going to be wobbly until I can find something the correct thickness. But the good wobbly, it's not the bolts. It's not these ones making it wallaby. I need holes in this one or this one, but first I need a bar to go between them. It's still so far away. Where is it? Oh. No, this is very suitable. And then instead of, it's just going to be up and down-ish depth. This part's a gamble, but I would like to put it in there. I believe they're closed. I think I got them off some drawers. I don't recall. I need to figure out how I'm going to put it on there. Alright, I got myself some squares, rectangles, a thing, and some more things. I'll just drill some holes for a little bit. So, my computer might be ready really soon, and I'm gonna use that as like extra motivation to get this done ASAP. I'm just doing a little bit of learning on hydraulic cylinders. This is a good video. All these videos use like massive RAMs. They're called RAM, right? Because I remember the first time I heard it, I thought the guy was talking about computer parts. I don't think I'm ever going to live in a loft. Man, yesterday was a workout to say the least. So, today's plan, I'm thinking the front arm, I just need to do whatever to make it stable. Just, even if it looks ugly, just do whatever to make it stable. I'm thinking about the hydraulics. I'm like, are they really hydraulics? Is that what, am I calling it the right thing? And then, because I asked chat, I was like, can they actually stand in the middle? So we're going to go down to my car and we're going to check. And, okay, so there's that. And then I was thinking like with the fat arm, I was like, I need notches on there. And I was thinking like, okay, so I'm going to get the heat gun and then stretch the outer part that sits flush with the thing. Just on the top, stretch that a bit. So, and then with the notches, I'm just going to put like 2 screws in line. And then I'm going to grind the front if they're round screws so that it's got like a this shape. Or if they're not round screws, then I grind the back so it's got a this shape. And then I'm thinking I want a lever somewhere to push the button that's underneath that hinge that sits on the fat arm. And then it's going to move it front and back. That's the last step. I need to figure out, maybe I'm gonna fold the computer in. And then, so some brainstorming today. I have to figure out how I'm gonna sit it and how it's gonna be weighted. And then, yeah, and I had a dream the other night. Well, I was waking up from a dream and then I like had a thought and I was like, oh, use those gold gears to control how I'm moving it. And I did a little placementing yesterday and then I decided I'm just not gonna do that. But I asked chat and I was like, hey, what is that when you're waking up and like you find the solution to a problem? And it was like, yeah, it's called hypnopompia, which is really interesting. I don't know if it's gonna sit in the middle. I got like this weird balancing act, but I don't think it's gonna. Well, I've done heaps of practicing, you know, heaps of this. And if I put the hydraulics at this point and that point, I can get it almost closed. The only obstacle is, this is where I planned on putting this guy to pin, because I need both. But it will make it strong. Lol, when I look at this and I think, I could just put the computer on this. I'm like, man, this would tear so easy. I think that's like, they're both important, but I'm going to favor that one at the moment. I could just, I don't want too many holes. I thought this was going to be perfect, but it's slightly off. It's just slightly off. So I'm thinking I could remove the caps, gently move this one in, tighten it. I can barely get there. I think I can do it. This one's not going well. I think I need the first aid kit there. Bam. This band-aid covers 2 cuts. Not gonna waste my first aid kit on those everyday injuries. Okay, this is a new kind of puzzle. Oh, you can't even see in there. I've got the other side of the bolt in there. And I just made sure I stopped it. That took a fucking hour. And I don't think I can use it, because when I try and push it in, it stretches on the plastic here. Alright, I put all my weight on it. I couldn't close it, so there's some sort of heavy duty thing going on there. I'll just work on the rest while I think of something for this. That took way too long. Sure, I think that's gonna hold the computer. I definitely need an extra hinge. This hinge isn't gonna hold eventually. I'll work on it. I like this. I like how strong this is. If I could find like one that pivots, maybe I'll go to the hardware store. Or I could use this and insert one in each side and put the pin through this. I was thinking something like this. 2 of these inside that, and then one is in the other pole. But I want something that strong. That doesn't count as bought, by the way. That counts as found, because I found the couch that I traded, and eventually I traded a bunch of things, and I ended up with that. Okay. I better bring the hinge. No one ever knows what I'm talking about, ever. Actually, I don't want to go. Like, I don't feel like talking to someone who thinks I'm an idiot, so I'm going to make something. Actually, you know what? It feels like really strong wood. I think I'll just take what I got. Man, I got a nice looking joint here. Okay, now I only want to do this once, so I'm going to go to the hardware store, but I'll make sure no one talks to me. Found one. Nowhere near the heavy duty outdoor ones, and this seems stronger. I've just got to cut it, so I'm quickly going to do that before the sun goes down. Had a couple conversations with some boys. I wasn't sure I was gonna find something, so I was also looking at the door stoppers, you know, the ones that fold, and I was like, oh, I could drill a hole through that. I've got to drill a hole through this. Hopefully I can. Well, like, I drilled a hole through the gear. I should be able to. Yeah, and I saw some springs. And that thing that I have, it's called a gas strut. So now that I know exactly what I need to look up, I was looking up how to close a gas strut, and it was just like the slowest video in the world. So I'll look that up again in a little bit after cutting this. Much better. Yeah, I guess I had to buy a hinge. Oh, I haven't even fully put them on. Okay. So it was a nightmare putting the gas strut on. But now I'm very curious, so I'm thinking I still want to figure it out, but maybe somehow, I don't know. For fuck's sake. Failure. No, I don't want it on that side of the couch. Okay, yes, it does compress with a lot of effort. And I'm like, did it push the metal? I don't know. But it's pretty strong with this new fancy hinge, and it will be stronger when I do that. So, perhaps a weaker one. There's like really little ones for like $4. I'll take a look later, and then like after I've made some progress. Definitely going to hold the computer. Definitely. Okay, because it's like, if that was too weak, this was going to act as just one point where it's holding, and it's like one point is just going to be another different hinge. It's only one hinge if one doesn't work. So with 2, there's 2 different spots, and it's going to work fine. What next? Time to attach it to the couch. Yes. I'm going to revisit the gas strut again after it's all put together and I've got and I can put the computer on there, because I see once I lift this, it's just going to drop. So that's why I need the gas strut. And maybe that one will be useful, but that's after I put the computer. So after I put it on the couch, I'm going to leave, because that takes grinding. I'm going to leave the notches for tomorrow, but I'm going to make sure that I can take it off, which I probably should be able to in general. Here's the progress. My drill ran out of battery. I told my good neighbor, I was like, hey, if it's too loud, definitely let me know. I'll stop straight away. So, oops, I picked out my 16 screws. They're a bit mismatchy, but they're a set now. So this is going to go here. The 16 screw is going to go on the couch. And then I want an extra leg here because it's all the harnessing is over here. I was like, okay, I'll put an extra leg there. So I'm going to put one of these here and I'll make up a leg tomorrow because I'll need to cut it. And then now I'm thinking I need to brainstorm the pedal that moves this and also the end bit. And after I make them, I'm done. I want a more gentle spring in there. This takes a bit of force in here. I'll pull it apart. There we go, that's what it looks like. It's just a button. There we go, it's rotated. I forgot why I wanted to rotate it. Oh no, I take that back. I can't do it that way because there's a slot in here for this. I can drill a hole and make it a pull. I don't want to do that. I'd rather a foot pedal. Out of all the springs I've got, I couldn't find an appropriately sized spring, so I cut this one and then I put a thumbtack there to stick it in place. Yes, I did try melting it. Yeah, fuck it, I just cut it a bit shorter. Okay, it's just slightly easier to push now. It's part of the couch now.
Please explain. Please explain.
Who the fuck is that? It's midnight. Is it midnight? I don't know. It's late. This isn't going anywhere. I'm going to slice these or find different bolts. So that's temporary. Excellent. I don't know about all this extra space. Okay. So the computer just needs to make clearance there. And then maybe I push it in. I don't know. It's a lot of space. Let me push it back a bit. Wow! Wow, if this actually works, that's amazing. You can't even see the computer. Or what would be the computer. Okay. So, what does this look like from over here? Oh, fantastic. Cool. Okay, I need locks. I need to stabilize this. I think it's because I didn't tighten it. Okay, we'll see how that plays out. So I need locks and computer. So I think I need... I kind of want... The computer will sit here. And I need to think. And maybe eat and sleep. I think I only need 270 degrees rotation. Okay, I might chop up another one of these poles if this is not enough clearance. So when I'm sitting here, I have to pack the computer so that it sits like this and hide it away. Yep. Okay, I have to start out with an idea that's gonna transform. So I'm thinking an L-shaped seat here, on a hinge that I will lock. That's how I'm going to start it off. It's simple. I can start off with that. Depending on the screen, because it's not just a monitor, it's a whole thing. So I have to be careful about the screen. So I might end up shortening this and making it fold out, having extra folds. I'm really excited for this bunker. I knew this was going to be a problem, but I already planned on it. But like, just to point it out. So if I drop shit all the time. So if I accidentally drop this, that's not a good sign for the computer. I am up, but I'm not. So I think I'm going to start off with lazy activities, and I'm going to try and figure out where the gas strut should sit, and also clean up the computer and put the monitor on, because that's the heavy part, and then stick it all together. I was also thinking about the scooter. It had like this quarter of a circle with a groove in it and notches. And I think that's a great idea, because then it also had like a spring-loaded thing here. So you just pull a spring and then you put it to whichever notch you want. And eventually I will do that, because this is not that practical. Okay, the main wiggly thing is from this part, and there's nothing I can do about that. That's just how IKEA did it. I thought this was loose. It's not. It's literally just that. Measuring time. Because I think it, besides the wiggliness, I think it runs quite well. No, I was wrong. This is wobbly. I'll tighten it and put padding. Okay, now all the wobbling is purely from this. Yep. I was just sitting here, I was like, what did YouTube put on here? How to access your creativity? How to access it? I can't relate. I would like to know the other side. I don't think I'm going to listen to that. It's a how-to. I realized this a few years ago. I think I was 26 when I realized this, because I was like, people are like, oh, how do you think of that? And every time someone asked me that, I was like, you just fucking sit and think for 10 minutes. Like, you don't, like, I thought people were being lazy. And then I learned about the brain and grey matter, and more creative people make more links to different parts of the brain. And then that's when synesthesia comes in, and it's really interesting. So I think, don't get bogged down if you're not creative. Like, you've probably got some other skill. So it sounds like a how-to. I'm not sold on it, but I'm not going to listen to that. Maybe I will one day, but not today. Oh, adding on that, people who aren't creative have the advantage. You straight up have the advantage. I've pissed off so many employers because I've been like, we could just do it this way. Like, to be able to just do things the way you're meant to do it, it's such an advantage. But I really like my life, so. I have two options. This is the one I'm favoring. I put an extra bar here and one end here, and this was meant to be an A, but it looks like a cross, which is quite fitting. So I could put it there, or I put it there and link it to this arm, which is not my favorite because it's wobbly, and I want it on something. I want two mostly stable things, which also works because when it's on, it also kind of works when it's at minimal, it works there. But I'm favoring this one. So I'm gonna find something that I can attach to here and also attach to here. So here's what I can do with what I've got. I can drill a hole into this, pop it out, put this or that side in there, and then put it back in. The only problem is it can just pop back out. So I want something this shape that I can screw there, because once it's screwed to the couch, I'm not unscrewing it. Like it's stuck there. And I am thinking maybe I would replace these with like a big plate that involves those 2 bolts over there. But for now, this is what I've got. So I'm thinking I need some sort of bracket that I can stick to this and is L-shaped. And then while I'm there, I'll probably look, because this is an important part. I don't want to makeshift this part. A bracket that can sit on this. I kind of have one, but I kind of don't. This, it screws in only halfway, so I kind of have one, but I kind of don't. All right, I'll go get a bracket. I like this. This is designed to fit around the spot where A is, the A that looks like a cross. A smaller hole in here that fits those 2, and then a bigger hole so that I can fit the whole thing into A. So this is potentially solved. Lol. I didn't know that wasn't... It is a circle. I didn't know it wasn't a circle. It is a circle, but it's not a circle. Try and do this with CSS. Make a circle and a circle. I've done that. Lol. Man, I really hope that millennial guys don't grow old to start hovering around Gen Alpha and Beta women in hardware stores. So I bought the longest one, thinking I just want to directly attach it to the couch. I've got to cut it. But I also bought it knowing that I'm not sure it's going to directly attach because it has to hover outside for about like 10 centimeters. You know what? I think I did an okay job there. This is a gamble. I think I measured pretty well. I didn't use any measuring tape. When there's a computer here, it's gonna be easier. No, it won't. That was a fucking waste of time and money. It broke. I'll use springs next time. I'm gonna put a spring between here and somewhere. Yeah, because I want it to slow down as it reaches there. Because I don't have really long arms. This could work as some sort of handle. Maybe I should just get a better one of those things. Because that would control an even movement, whereas a spring might slingshot my computer out. Unless, because I would let it reach its normal. It might spring it just a little bit. It's the point of a spring. I'm definitely going to keep a lookout for a big sheet of metal that I could use instead of these. I'm very concerned about the wood under the couch. Aussie women are such bitches. They seriously fucking are. Like, I get out of my car and there's a woman behind me just walking the same direction as me, and she goes, "Oh, you're way too dressed up for Bunnings." And I'm here like dressed in the shit that I wear like literally every single day just because I didn't choose crappy things from the shops. So I look at her and I acknowledge that, by looking at her, I acknowledge that I heard her comment. And then she insists on walking with me into the store, and she's like, "Look, I didn't mean it that way, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "It's not the worst I've gotten," because it's always from them. So I was like, you know. And then she goes, "Look, I'm so sorry, it's because I'm dressed so like badly." And I was like, "I hope you have a good day though." And really, honestly, like people who like, because I don't know how many people I saw, but not once did I think I should comment negatively about their outfit, even though a lot of people dress like shit all the time. Like, it didn't even pass through my mind. I didn't even think about what people were wearing. So, I got myself a gas stripe. And at this point, I'm a little bit concerned that I'm just drilling extra holes into my little contraption here. I didn't drill any holes. I did drill some holes, but in the brackets. Oh gosh, that's not scary at all. I like that. It's not going to slam down. Okay. Good. Now I'm cool with drilling holes. I'm going to put it here and here. Okay. I have a problem here where if I put screws in here, it ruins the folding. So I have to go out, but I'll come back to this. It's on there, but it's now squeaky. And I'm thinking I prefer more support and I'll just deal with the squeak. I did put WD-40. Cool. It slows down on this side as opposed to this side. I'm thinking maybe another one, but I will focus on that part now because I think just given the ideas to like, so annoying. Oh, I've just thought it up. I can screw a spring here. You know, like, you know a peg? How it gets more difficult when you close one side, as in opening it. I'll keep a lookout for a spring, and then that way it will just not smash down. That's not even the squeaky part. It's the extra washer I put in here. I can fix that. Good. Cool. I'm not sure if I've said it out loud, but that would be a good idea for there. It's like you can hear it doing the work. Well, if I move it a little bit. All right, let's figure out where the center of gravity is for this one. I have to brainstorm. The screen takes up most of the weight, and the center of gravity is going to change when I tilt it though. So I can't rely on gravity. I think it's tools down for now because the next step I would just be creating a bracket for the computer, but I need to sit and scribble. And yep, maybe I'll get a piece of cardboard out and pretend it's the computer and stick it to that. I'm also going to paint. This one's going to take forever, this artwork here, because I'm doing little, yep. That one's pretty much done. Very exciting. That one's pretty much done. You know what I reckon? This was a good prototype, but I think I'll start again just real fast, because it's like I know exactly what I want it to do. The joints on this are not strong enough. That's not gonna hold 10 kilos. There's no fucking way that. Just before I go to bed, I want to share this. I figured out how I'm gonna keep the computer straight on every angle. I'm gonna have two circles, two semicircles. So I'm gonna have two rods. So one there, one there. I don't know about the weight. I seem to be increasing the weight here. And then, so I'm gonna remake it out of wood. Yeah, so one circle goes here, another circle goes there, and it always keeps it flat. I don't know if I'm starting a new video, but I'm starting from scratch and I'm getting it done today. All I have to do is grab the wood, and so I found someone with a cot that's disassembled, which is excellent, because before that I found someone with a cot and a mattress, but I kind of don't really want that. So I'm gonna go get the wood, and I'm just going to be very strategic about cutting it up. It's like, it's all in here. I need 4 pieces at the bottom so that I can have a really, really sturdy hinge. And then I'm going to have 2 pieces going around in 2 semicircles, and then maybe extend it to the other side and have 1 piece there. It's all in my head, I've got it. And I'm thinking I want to go back to linear actuator, but get all the cutting done this before 2. Got it. She was like, first child? And I was like, yeah. And then I realized I don't look pregnant at all. So I told her it was my sister. Reassembled. Pausing. Alright, got myself a boat. Yeah, with some sort of... What's that Pokemon? It really does look like a fish. Alright, so this is my computer boat. I need to think, what's stopping... So there'll be a plank here holding them together, but what's stopping this one from dropping at a faster rate and then having the computer tilt? Yeah, what is stopping it? An extra arm that's spaced out the same, and perhaps it comes in from the side so that it doesn't interfere with that. I'll think. That's just, I'm throwing shit into the air. Damn, I really wanted it done today because it's so easy. I've got the poles and that's done. I might connect these two. I'm thinking at the moment though. I cheated some maths and I just went into like thinking land and I've thought it out. So, 2, and they're going to be joint together, and maybe instead they're going to come out to the side and they're going to be joint at the same distance that the table is meant to be at. And instead of trying to figure out, because I was still confused about what kind of hinge I can use, I'm going to use these because I've got a million of these little rods, and they're going to go into each one. And that's what I'm doing here. I've made a mistake. This is where my mistake lies. I'm going to drop this down to there. I'm just double checking before I drill any holes. It would be as if, because I'm lowering one, but it's like, I'm not really lowering one. I'm just changing the angle. So instead of it, it's just going to be like, so this is not a circle. This is an ellipsis. So instead of it facing this way, it faces slightly this way because I'm just moving this. I actually already started drilling the holes, but the drill ran out, and it's good because I actually need that slightly higher. Here's a mini review. If you need to bore some holes, this one wins. It doesn't look as efficient, but it's way more efficient. This one's just kind of a, you have to get a bit angry to make it work. And I put, so it's like number 1, number 2, and then the hole saw is number 3. Well, at least they're parallel. They're not perpendicular. It doesn't work the way I imagined. I just need to adjust a little bit. So, see the distance? Alright, if I'm removing this arm, I might as well test the original hole first. Change of plans. 1 arm on each side. It just won't be as discreet as before, but my computer will be stable-ish. Until I get to this part where I'm like, okay, how do I don't know yet. Honestly, instead of a table, I could have it hanging. So, but I kind of want a table. But if it's just hanging through the middle, then it's like gravity. Gravity, man. Second arm installed. I'm not so sure about my craftsmanship. Computer part arrives tomorrow, and I really want to get this done, but I've got to tutor a kid and then go out to dinner. Ignore the squeakiness. This is what it actually looks like. I did put it like a giant kind of dowel here to keep it. I also haven't screwed these in properly. I made a mistake. This makes sanding so easy. Made a mistake? Just throw some dowels in it. I don't think I can get away with that. I'm feeling low on screws, so I went outside to the pile of crap that's always there, and I got some. And a bunch of springs. I need springs for that part. I'm probably going to get the springs off the cot, because the cot seems to have... You know, it's just a bit of a kit for everything I need here. I don't know if they're too strong. By the way, I fixed the mistake. I'm going to have 2 arms here now. 2 leverage ones. Because you know how before I was like... It's like holding something out really far away. I'm not sure about the springs, but I'm thinking if I just stick together these 2 springs and these 2 springs, I've got something going on here. Ooh, don't want to drop my computer. It holds. It holds. No problems. I'm worried about wiggling. Maybe I'm worried about wiggling. I don't know. It doesn't seem to do that right now. I haven't measured, but I know it's right. I think I'm just about done here. Oh, this is how this works. Okay, mind the artworks. Mind the plants. This might be a work in progress, but that's essentially how it is. So no matter what, either one of these is mostly stretched. So it's got incentive to return back. I'll figure out spacing in a minute. So it's not going to be like I imagined where I can sit inside and then it'll just pop out. But I've got a 6 seat with a computer in front of it. Honestly, I think I'm just going to get some sturdy rope and make a little computer swing. And that way it's always gravity. Alright, I'm so close to the end. I can also justify the cost of this $17 piece of wood. Remember how ages ago on my first canvas hunt, this guy that only liked me because I have a bike gave me rope? I have a couple tweaks, as in I think the other side only really needed to be that big. So I'm going to chop it down a bit. I'm going to make sure the plants sit there. And then the part arrives tomorrow, so I can... The screen is about the weight of the computer, so I really need that to decide how I'm going to balance it. I think an hour left. This swings around way too much for my liking. I need to glue these in place, so they're just going to wobble a bit. But if I manage to like keep it in the spot... What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Might need to replace it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a bit swingy. So this is the pivot point. I either need to have this locked in here or that locked in there. One or the other, and just need to think for 10 more minutes. I'm making the arms bend. I was thinking I want to still use those holes, but I'm also now going to attach a table to the back. So I'm thinking I don't really need a table if I've got the table, I don't really need to attach the holes.
Success!
There will come a day where this doesn't scare the shit out of me. It's stable. It scares the shit out of me. If I put rope, then that means I can tilt it and it won't flip. I don't want it to flip. just used these bolts to make it longer, and no, that's a firm no. This is stable compared to what I just did. They didn't have Tassie oak. This is eucalyptus. The rest is probably pine, to be honest. I love it. It's not crooked, that's the camera. You know what? That wasn't anywhere near as graceful as I imagined when I started this project. It was definitely not Dr. Evil appear out of nowhere, but look at this. There's no computer in the middle of my living room. Fuck yeah.
Invisible lady.
Here you go for your curiosity. It's cute just sitting there waiting, be like, hey, let's work. Daytime shot. I should tidy this up, but it looks fucking awesome. Look at it go. It looks so comfortable. Oh, so these are my hinges. I made hinges because I thought it was stronger to make hinges and like incorporate it into the wood as opposed to use the hinges, and then springs to like encourage it to move either way. Yeah. Oh, I've got like these little pegs here so that I can peg in like higher heights, but I'm good with the height. I'm gonna remove this thing and put a little bit of height on here so that the camera stops making it look like it's crooked. Yeah, that's about all the features. Check out this setup. Okay, so here's the light. It works great because it just magnets to this one here. And then, so I was worried about eye level, but this is absolutely perfect. It's ergonomical. And then so I can do this thing where I move the mouse all the way to this computer, and I'm back here working on this computer. So I can like do my spreadsheet shit over here and be like, cool, I'm doing that. And then doing something over here. Got my little tea. Excellent. So now I'm going to finish exporting those videos that I haven't exported. And then meanwhile, I'll work on that computer and be like, cool, you're doing your thing. Look how good it looks. Okay, so I'm calling that model the cot. And I'm thinking, like, okay, so I felt this way about that bench outside. I built that, and when I first built it, I was like, I'm gonna have to fix it or something in a little bit. And it's 2018, so it's been there 6 years. And it's like the sturdiest thing ever, man. Like blizzards don't happen here, but like it's withstood a lot. And like I sit on that thing and I eat breakfast and then like I just chill. It is the sturdiest thing. So I'm hoping that this is the same. It looks so rickety. But I'm thinking I'm gonna make another one. Now that I know I just need 2 arms, I would, in the next one, I would connect them at the bottom. Yeah, that's kind of the only change I'd make. I'd definitely secure it to those little bolt sections under the couch. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna keep an eye out, find any beds, and then I'm gonna call this next model John Cena because it's gonna be strong and it's gonna be invisible. So I'm not done with it, but you got the gist. I've got my own little like sick workstation. Now I'm like so excited to well, I'm not excited to edit, but I'm excited to be sitting there and making digital art. That's really, really fun. Here's some extended features. I put extra springs here and yeah. Oh, and then I put stoppers here because at the moment I'm having trouble folding it over, but now the stopper's gonna stop this one and it's gonna be like, well, I only have this way to move. And in time, I will put like some sort of brace here and I'm going to secure the hard drives to that just for minimalism and obviously clean up the wires, but like it's so awesome that there's no wires here and you can't see shit. Can't rock out too hard. Like I like this song, but if I nod, so does the computer. It's okay, the next model will be good. The next model will be less sketchy for sure. A few days in, this is how it's going. I like to rest my phone here because it can. It's actually more stable than I thought. So this is the little process of getting out. I like to use my Jedi powers to be like, don't. I popped onto Marketplace just now for like some activities and there was like, cause you know, last time I recorded anything about this, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna make another model, like the John Cena model. And now I'm thinking like, there was a bed frame, exactly the color wood of this couch, but to be frank, I like this. I've grown a liking to this, and there's just, I should probably make it stop swinging, the computer, but yeah, I'm content. I'm set. This is my table. I'm about to start streaming. Whoa, that landed in a weird position. And I need to make sure that, like, I don't want the computer to fall midstream. So I did this. Just a little bit of a block. Literally.